Some babies can lie beside you for minutes without protest. Others panic the second your arms even begin lowering them. Same love, same home, completely different need for closeness. That difference confuses parents because it feels deeply personal sometimes too. You may wonder whether holding creates dependence or bad habits, or whether your baby is telling you something bigger inside. In many families, the real question is not about spoiling, it is about why one nervous system needs more help. And once you understand that, holding stops looking indulgent. It starts looking like support, matched to one tiny human perfectly. Because babies do not ask for arms for one reason. They reach for regulation, relief, reassurance, or familiar rhythm there. Sometimes the baby who needs holding most is not fragile. That baby is simply feeling more, noticing more, processing more. And if your child settles only on your chest, there may be meaning there you have felt but not named. Some babies need more holding because their bodies are less settled. Others need it because their emotions move faster inside. Some crave contact after noise, bright lights, or visitors. Others want it most during sleep transitions or sudden changes there. The important shift is this: more holding does not automatically mean less resilience. Often it means your baby is honest. Honest about overwhelm, honest about separation, honest about needing help. Babies do not hide distress to protect adult comfort yet. Adults often admire independence because it feels easier to manage. But early dependence is not weakness in human development either. It is one route towards security, especially for babies whose systems startle easily. Closeness helps organize what feels chaotic inside. Think about adults for a second. Some people recover quickly after stress, while others need silence, warmth, and extra reassurance. Babies have those differences too, only without language or perspective. Their bodies show the need before their minds could explain. One baby can tolerate being passed around at brunch. Another falls apart later, once the stimulation finally catches up inside. One baby can drift to sleep after a quick kiss. Another needs rocking, holding, and repeated reassurance before surrendering there. Neither baby is wrong. They are revealing how much support their nervous system needs for that moment and stage today. That nervous system piece matters more than parents realize. Holding is not only comfort, it is biological regulation happening live. Your heartbeat, skin warmth, smell, motion, and voice create a stabilizing pattern. The baby body recognizes home there again quickly. When a baby is held, breathing can slow and muscles soften. Digestion, temperature, and alertness can shift towards steadiness too. That is why some infants stop crying the moment they are picked up. Your body becomes an organizing environment immediately. But not every baby needs the same amount of borrowed steadiness. Some arrive with a higher sensitivity to change already. Temperament is part of this from the beginning. It shapes how intensely babies react and how long reactions linger afterward. Some babies are more adaptable, more rhythmic, more easily soothed. Others are deeply observant, reactive, and slower to reset again. That slower reset can look like clinginess to adults. But from inside the baby, it feels like unfinished stress still. Holding helps complete the cycle. The baby who could not settle alone gets help coming back into balance again safely. This is especially obvious after overstimulation. A baby may seem fine in the moment, then collapse emotionally once quiet returns. Parents often think the meltdown came from nowhere. Really, the nervous system was holding strain until there was space enough. And where does that release strain usually go first? Into the safest arms available, which is often yours right there. That can feel strangely unfair when you are already exhausted, but it also means your baby trusts you with recovery. Trust does not always look peaceful. Sometimes it looks like loud crying, desperate rooting, or needing your body again close. Some babies also need more holding because separation feels sharper to them. Distance lands heavier in certain developing systems emotionally. This does not mean they are insecure or damaged. It means proximity is their fastest route back to safe again. Think of the baby who wakes, sees the room empty, and cries instantly. The absence itself feels like a shock. Another baby may stir, fuss lightly, and wait a moment. Same room, same age, different tolerance for aloneness there already. That difference often reflects both temperament and experience. Babies learn what to expect from repeated patterns of closeness around them. When comfort arrives reliably, the brain starts predicting relief. When relief feels inconsistent, alarm can stay closer underneath the surface. This is why consistency matters even more with sensitive babies. They notice delays, shifts, and emotional mismatch almost immediately there. A parent can smile while feeling rushed, irritated, or overwhelmed. Babies pick up the tension even without understanding stories yet. That is because babies read state before language. Your nervous system teaches as much as your actual caregiving choices daily. So when a baby wants more holding, sometimes the request is simple. Help my body feel what your body knows. That help is called co-regulation. Though the lived experience feels warmer, it is shared settling until the baby reorganizes. Some infants simply need more rounds of that shared settling. Their engines rev quickly and downshift more slowly afterward too. That can be true during the newborn months especially. Immature systems need outside regulation because internal brakes are still developing. Newborns do not self-soothe the way internet advice sometimes implies. They depend on contact, rhythm, and responsive care heavily. For some babies, that heavy dependence lasts longer and shows stronger. It is not failure, it is developmental variation instead. Sometimes there are body-based reasons too. Reflux, gas, eczema, congestion, or discomfort can make flat surfaces harder to tolerate comfortably. If a baby seems impossible to soothe, painful after feeds, or unusually distressed, medical guidance matters alongside emotional understanding too. Because sometimes the baby needing constant arms is saying, "This hurts," and pain always changes how much contact feels necessary. But even when discomfort is part of the picture, holding matters. Relief becomes easier when pain is not faced alone. Feeding can reveal this difference clearly. One baby feeds, pauses, and relaxes. Another squirms, unlatches, cries, then returns again desperately. That second baby may need more than milk. They may need pacing, burping, containment, quiet, or your steady chest nearby. Holding helps some babies digest not only food, but experience. They process life through contact more than other babies do. This becomes even clearer in the evening. The day accumulates in their bodies, and they need you to unload it. Parents call this the witching hour and often blame gas. Sometimes it is sensory fatigue mixed with immature regulation instead. The baby wants your arms because your arms simplify the world. Less space to manage, less uncertainty, less effort overall. For some babies, contact reduces startling. The boundary of your body helps them feel where they end and begin safely. That sounds abstract, but you have probably seen it. Swaddled, held, or pressed close, they suddenly stop flailing so hard. The body is finding edges, weight, and predictability. Contact gives sensory information that floating space cannot always provide yet fully. That is one reason baby carriers help certain infants instantly. The closeness offers rhythm, containment, warmth, and movement together beautifully. But even carriers are not magical for every child. What helps is the match between support and the baby profile. Some need vertical motion, some need darkness, some need your heartbeat, some need fewer voices and less eye contact nearby. This is why generic advice often feels insulting to parents. Your baby is specific, and specific babies need specific support. A tip that works beautifully for one family may flop completely elsewhere. Different babies are solving different internal problems daily. And holding is often part of the solution, not the problem. The question is, what need the holding serves there? Is your baby seeking less input, more rhythm, more reassurance, relief from pain, protection from separation, help organizing tiredness inside? Once you ask better questions, the holding becomes informative. It tells you which moments overwhelm your baby and which settle. Maybe your child needs more holding after busy mornings, but not quiet ones. That pattern gives you a clue already. Maybe your baby wants arms most when another caregiver leaves. That pattern points towards separation sensitivity more than tiredness alone. Maybe your baby needs extra contact before naps, not after. That pattern suggests transitions are harder than sleep itself today. Patterns matter because babies communicate through timing as much as intensity. When the need appears, helps explain why it happens. This is also where parents can start feeling less trapped. More holding feels different when it actually makes sense emotionally. You stop hearing a demand and start hearing a request. A request is still hard, but it is meaningful now. And meaning changes resentment. When parents understand the need beneath behavior, they respond with more accuracy and less panic overall. That accuracy matters because babies are constantly learning what relationships feel like. Do I get help or face distress alone? Every time your baby reaches and you answer, a little expectation forms. Help can come. I do not disappear here. That expectation is one foundation of secure attachment. Security is built through repeated relief, not through permanent ease alone ever. So yes, some babies need more holding because their attachment system activates faster. They check connection more often throughout days. That checking is not manipulation. It is surveillance for safety from a brain designed to depend on proximity early on. Babies are born wired to seek caregivers, especially when overwhelmed. Close contact is an ancient survival strategy, not drama today. The drama feeling usually lives in the adult, not the infant. Adults imagine choice where babies are running instinct alone. And to be fair, adult exhaustion is real. Constant holding can ache in your shoulders, schedule, patience, and identity too. So understanding your baby does not erase your limits. It helps you support wisely without interpreting need as wrongdoing personally. You can honor a baby who needs holding and still build sustainability. The answer is not arms every minute either. The answer is responsive support plus gentle structure. Meet the need, then slowly widen what feels tolerable over time together. For example, if your baby falls asleep only on you, start with connection. Then change one small piece gradually later. Maybe keep the cuddle but reduce movement. Maybe keep contact but lower stimulation. Maybe stay near after setting down there. Support does not have to be all or nothing. Babies usually tolerate change better when the bridge feels familiar first. That bridge might be your hand on the chest. It might be a voice cue repeated before every separation moment. It might be a predictable bedtime pattern that lowers panic. Familiar sequences help babies release vigilance a little earlier nightly. This is especially helpful for babies whose need for holding spikes suddenly. A sudden changes usually have a reason underneath somewhere. A developmental leap can do it. So can teething, travel, illness, visitors, growth spurts, or caregiver stress nearby at home. Babies often become more holding dependent right before new skills bloom. The world widens, and reassurance becomes more necessary again. A crawling baby may suddenly want more chest time. Independence and closeness often rise together, not in opposition at all. That surprises parents because development is often described as separation, but healthy development also deepens the need for secure base. Your arms become that base when everything else feels new. They are the launch pad and the landing place for exploration. Even eye contact can explain holding differences. Some babies use your face like a compass more frequently than others do. They glance up during noise, strangers, or transitions, searching you. Your expression tells their body whether to stay open there. If your baby checks you constantly, holding may be one way of checking. Proximity gives the answer faster for them. And if you are anxious yourself, babies often feel that amplification. They can need more support while your body settles. This is not blame. It is a reminder that parenting happens between nervous systems, not just between ideas alone ever. A calmer parent does not guarantee a calm baby, but your regulation gives the baby more chances to borrow stability. That is why supporting yourself matters too. Rest, food, help, breaks, and repair change what you can offer your baby. Sometimes a baby needs more holding because the village is too small. One overwhelmed caregiver cannot buffer everything alone forever. When support increases, babies often settle more easily, not because they changed, but because the whole system softened around them. This matters for guilt too. Needing more holding does not mean your baby is difficult or you are doing poorly. It may simply mean your baby has a high contact temperament. Some little humans are built for more reassurance naturally. And high contact babies often bring gifts alongside intensity. They can be deeply expressive, connected, observant, and responsive later too. The same sensitivity that makes separation hard can also make relationships rich. These babies feel a lot early on too. Your job is not to erase that sensitivity. It is to help it grow without becoming overwhelmed by itself daily. That starts by respecting the signal instead of fighting it. Holding becomes wiser when it is responsive, not automatic alone. If the holding helps your baby reorganize, it is useful. If it increases stimulation, you adjust the way instead gently. Maybe you less bouncing, or it's better than more bouncing. Maybe side lying against you soothes faster than face-to-face holding. Maybe walking calms your baby while rocking aggravates. Maybe skin-to-skin works when swaddling or swings do not quite. Observing these details turns parenting from guessing into decoding. Your baby stops seeming random and starts seeming readable instead now. And once the baby feels readable, the parent usually feels stronger. Confidence rises when behavior finally has understandable meaning behind. That confidence is regulating too. Babies often relax when adults respond with calm clarity instead of frantic experimentation around them. So if your baby needs holding, try hearing the deeper sentence. My system needs help, and you are familiar here. Or maybe the sentence is this one instead. The world got bigger today, and I need my anchor nearby again. Or maybe it says, my body feels too loud right now. Hold me until the inside becomes quieter again, please. Once you hear those hidden sentences, the picture changes. Holding becomes communication, not surrender, not spoiling, not failure at all. It becomes one of the oldest ways humans teach safety, through contact, rhythm, warmth, and a returning familiar body nearby. And as safety grows, many babies gradually need less holding naturally, not because you force distance, but because trust grew. Their bodies begin carrying more of what you once carried. Regulation gets internalized through repetition, not pressure or withholding alone. So the paradox is beautiful. Meeting dependence well is often what makes independence emotionally possible later on for children. Babies who are held enough do not learn helplessness. They learn that distress can move and connection can return reliably. That lesson becomes courage much later. Courage is easier when your nervous system expects support, not abandonment, during stress moments. So if your baby reaches for you again today, pause before judging. The reaching itself may be intelligent information there. Maybe your baby needs less stimulation, more containment, or more recovery. Maybe your baby simply needs your familiar rhythm today. Maybe the holding is not delaying development at all. Maybe it is supporting development in exactly the right way today. Because babies are not machines built to self-manage early. They are relationship-shaped from the start, especially under stress. And the baby who needs more holding may simply be clearer. Clearer about discomfort, clearer about emotion, clearer about need. That clarity can exhaust you, yes, but it can also teach you how this particular little person experiences the world. And once you learn their language, even hard days soften. You stop fighting the pattern and start working with it. That might be the most reassuring truth here. More holding does not always mean something is wrong with your baby. It may mean something is specific about your baby. And specific babies invite specific love, not generic expectations from adults. So the next time your arms feel like the only place that works, remember what your baby may be saying. Stay close a little longer. I am not becoming spoiled. I am learning what safety feels like in this world.